I welcome all of you to session number 4 of our revision batch for CS Professional Tax December 2022 exams. I hope first 3 sessions you have understood very well. Yes or no? Just quickly let me know in the chat window. Yes. So what we have done till now is assessment, audit, yes, after that advance ruling, and obviously then demand and recovery. I'm very sure you have understood those things. Now to concise those things, I want to tell you a very good thing, a good news, that I have started work on concising those things, okay, in the form of tables and charts, and I am going to make this book available to you by 15th of November. So I have already worked on 5 pages in this book. Just today it has started, and now I am going to take it forward. It will be 100% handmade tables and charts. So just let me know in the chat window, would you like to have such book which will have everything in concise form, in form of tables and charts, okay, each and every provision from tax, let it be GST, let it be customs, let it be income tax, let it be international tax. So yes, I promise to you, day in and day out I will work for it, and I will make it available at least 1 month prior to your exam, so you can make most of it. I have not yet worked on its costing part, okay. Just today afternoon I started the work. I have done 5 pages and I really found it, the work, interesting, and it will be very helpful for all of you. That's what I thought. Okay, so friends, sir, will it be covering all the topics that are covered in revision batch? Yes, I would say all topics from perspective of your syllabus. Rather, it will be a common book for tax, all tables and charts. Okay, and none of the thing will be typed, everything will be handwritten. Okay, I am personally making this book, so I am sure you will like it. I will send you some demo charts, okay, and let's go ahead now with today's session. So in today's session we are going to cover documents. Yes, what have we kept today's session number 4 as? Today's session number 4 we have kept as documents including the e-way bills, isn't it? Document including e-way bills. Yes, okay, I totally forgot to see your faces today. I was totally on my recording mode only. Right now I have switched on the Zoom. Okay, fine. So yes, friends, let's start. If I talk about documents, then 2 sections are important, section 31 and section 34. 31 talks about tax invoice, mainly tax invoice, bill of supply. Then it talks about debit note, credit note. Credit note, debit note is 34 actually. So if I talk about 31, tax invoice, bill of supply, then other documents. Other documents like what? Other documents like, see, receipt voucher, refund voucher, payment voucher, self invoice. Okay, and also it talks about revised tax invoice. Okay, is it clear to all of you? Yes. So if I talk about, let's discuss each and every document nicely, slowly, steadily. If I talk about tax invoice, then what is the importance of tax invoice? To establish that a supply has taken place, tax invoice is important. On the basis of this document, tax invoice, the recipient of supply can claim ITC, isn't it? Yes, supplier, very good point Rishika has told here. Supplier can determine his time of supply on the basis of tax invoice. So basically your section 12 and 13 of time of supply are directly connected with section 31. Okay, In case of goods, when to make invoice? In case of goods, when to make invoice? So when to make invoice? If supply involves movement of goods. If supply involves movement of goods, then make invoice before or at the time of removal of the goods. Correct? Before or at the time of removal of goods. Make invoice at that point. Is it clear? Second, if supply does not involve movement of goods, then when will you make invoice? If supply does not involve movement of goods, then you make invoice when you are making those goods available to the recipient. Very good. Only one modification I will like to make, Anisha. I think you have told me at time of delivery. That was in movement of goods, right? So I will say at the time of removal. Delivery is different, removal is different. Okay. Then friends, what could be third possibility? So see, third possibility could be there is a continuous supply of goods. When there is a continuous supply of goods, what we discussed? Continuous supply of goods means what? Continuous supply of goods means basically the goods are supplied through a pipeline or a wire, such conduit, through such conduit goods are supplied. So when to make invoice in this case? So at the time of issue of periodic statement of consumption or at the time of receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. Clear? Friends, then please tell me, have you learned something like this, that when goods are sent on approval basis? Now this is happening really like a revision batch. Yes. When goods are sent on approval basis, then what happens? Then you will make invoice when the opposite party, that is recipient of supply, approves the supply. Means I sold goods to Ketki, but I told Ketki that supply will not be complete unless you give the approval. So now today I removed the goods from my factory. Today cannot be the date of making invoice. Why so? Because only when Ketki accepts the supply is going to be complete. Is it clear to all of you? Satvika, is it clear? Only when Ketki accepts supply, the supply is going to be complete. So government says that here make invoice at the time of approval, means when you can identify the supply, or within 6 months from the date of invoice, whichever is earlier. In short, friends, there cannot be a delay beyond dash months. There cannot be a delay beyond 6 months. Absolutely correct. Is it clear to all of you? Yes. So suppose on 1st January, simple date, on 1st January 2022 I removed the goods, okay, and now they are being sent to Ulka on approval basis, and she accepts the supply on 1st April 2022. At what point invoice should be made? Invoice should be made on, wonderful answer Anisha, good answer Vishika, good answer Mihir, well done Ketki, on 1st April, okay, because it is earlier than 6 months. Very good. And second case, if the supply is not yet approved by Uma till by Ulka till 30th June, then when to make invoice? 30th June. Wonderful, wonderful. How to connect all these provisions with time of supply? In time of supply, I tell you how to connect it with section 31. In section 31, I am telling you how to connect it with section 12. Section 12 of CGST Act is time of supply of goods. So, time of supply of goods, Murusa, is date of issue of invoice or the last date when such invoice should have been issued, whichever is earlier. Very good. So friends, what happens is, in this approval case, till 30th June, ULCA has not given approval. So automatically 30th June becomes the date when invoice should have been issued. So automatically 30th June becomes time of supply. Did you understand? Wonderful, wonderful. Automatically we are revising section 12 also. And one more thing I would like to tell you, most common case in this particular goods are supposed to be sold and they are to be sold to Atmaja. And today what I do is I dispatch the goods. Today's date is 29th October. I dispatch the goods and I make invoice on 5th November. What is the time of supply? Friends, time of supply will become, yes, should I tell you the question again? Very good, it will be 29th October. Well done, well done. Question was like this, Ketki, that 29th October I dispatched the goods, but I made invoice on 5th of November. What will be the time of supply? So obviously time of supply will be date of issue of invoice, which is 5th November, or last date when invoice should have been issued as per section 31. That is the date of removal of goods, that is 29th October. So answer would have been whichever is earlier, that is 29th October. So I hope these provisions are very clear to all of you. Yes, wonderful. Good, very good. Shall we go ahead? Okay, now when this is clear to you, tell me about services. When should invoice be made? Usually in case of services, it should be made within 30 days from the date of supply of service, that is completion of service. Yes, if it's a banking service, then 45 days. In short, invoice will be made when? Before the completion of service or within 30 days from completion of service, or in case of banking service 45 days. Clear? Friends, principle in case of continuous supply of service remains the same like in case of goods. One thing I would like to ask you, what is meaning of continuous supply of service? Continuous supply of service means a service which is given on recurrent basis for a period, very good Sushma, of more than 3 months, and where payment is expected in some intervals. Agreed? So examples of continuous supply of services: telecommunication service, then even construction service, because no construction will be completed within 3 months, or any type of works contract which also cannot be completed in 3 months usually. Agreed? What was 3 months, sir? I missed it, sorry. Okay, I said continuous supply of service has a definition. That definition says that when a service is given on recurrent basis for more than 3 months, then and then only it is called as continuous supply of service. Yes, very good question has been put up by Anisha. Check definition of continuous supply of service. What it is saying, for a period exceeding 3 months. Agreed? That's why I'm using the word more than 3 months. Okay, good. But you're thinking at that level, that is a very nice sign. Agreed? So all of you understood? Now, 2 more things I want to ask you here. There will be no need to make a separate tax invoice. There will be no need to make a separate tax invoice in case of goods / services when the value of supply is not exceeding rupees, very good, 200. And one more thing, so basically less than 200, remember that. And one more thing, the supply should be to unregistered person who does not need invoice. In that case, there is no need to issue separate tax invoice. Agreed? All the details can be given for such supplies. The details can be given in a consolidated invoice at the end of the day. Very good, Swati. Understood, all of you? Good, very good. So I think almost we have covered all things from tax invoice which I wanted to tell you. Few more things, of course, I want to tell you. If I am talking about invoice in case of goods, how many copies should be made? It should be in triplicate. Very good. The original copy for supply, recipient of supply. Yes, very good. Duplicate for transporter and triplicate for supplier. Yes. And if I am talking about invoice for services, then it should be in duplicate. First copy, original copy for ROS, duplicate for supplier. There is no question of transporter. Agreed till this point? Yes, wonderful, wonderful. The common other requirements are HSN code or SAC code. Okay, if aggregate turnover in the last financial year is less than or equal to 5 crores, then 4 digits of that HSN code, 4 digits out of 8 digits should be mentioned, and if aggregate turnover exceeds 5 crore, then 6 digits. Okay, then friends, e-invoicing is mandatory. You will remember e-invoicing is mandatory when in any of the preceding financial years the aggregate turnover exceeded 20 crores. How much? Mind you, this limit of 20 crores is with effect from 1st April 2022. Okay, so we will write latest limit in the exam. And limit just before that was 50 crores. So with effect from 1st April 21, the limit was what? The limit was 50 crores. When in any of the last financial years, my turnover was exceeding 50 crores, then, and the transaction is B2B transaction, B2B, business to business. That means supply is done to an registered person. Then it will be mandatory to make e-invoice. Agreed? Then there is a QR code requirement. QR code requirement is in case of B2C transaction. When in any of the last years the turnover exceeded 500 crores. Okay, and this requirement came into picture with effect from 1st December 2020. Is it clear to you? Yes. Then friends, content of any tax invoice. What are the common contents of any tax invoice? Common contents of any tax invoice are, obviously, you can apply your logic here. Supplier's name, supplier's address, supplier's GSTIN. If recipient of supply is registered, then his GSTIN, place of supply, value of supply, signature of supplier or his authorized representative. Okay, of course, HSN code, description of goods, rate of GST, amount of tax. Yes, very good, Swati. Whether RCM is applicable or not. Reverse charge mechanism. So I hope all things are clear to all of you. Is it clear? How many of you are attending today? I did not see only. 21. Wow. Good. I know many of them don't attend, so that recorded they can watch and they can fast forward. I know students very well. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Let's go ahead. So this is clear to all of you. Invoices, basic things which we discussed in invoices. Yes. That 200 rupees wala point can become critical in your exam. I foresee they asking you one day some question on that 200 rupees issue. Then next thing I want to discuss with you is bill of supply. When to make bill of supply? Even I don't know why I have taken out these notes. I can literally, yes, because we are anyways not referring anything from notes right now. Bill of supply. Bill of supply will be made by registered person but who has opted for composition scheme. Very good, Ulka. Or such a registered person who is making a supply of only exempted goods or only non-taxable goods. Okay. Now there is also one concept called as invoice cum bill of supply. Means invoice plus bill of supply together, because it can happen that I am selling to Anisha few products, some of them are exempted and some of them are taxable. And mind you, I am giving different quotes. It's not a mixed supply. For product A I am giving a different quote, for product B I am giving a different quote, but one of the product is exempt and one of the product is taxable. Then rule 46A of CGST rules says that there is a possibility of making a document called as invoice cum bill of supply. Agreed? Very good. So that's what I wanted to tell you about bill of supply. Obviously, again, no need to issue separate bill of supply if consolidated, if value in particular supply is not exceeding 200 and the recipient does not need a separate bill of supply. Then you can include these details in what? Consolidated bill of supply, which will be made at the end of each day. Agreed? Logic, I want to tell you one logic. Why bill of supply is important if your supply is not taxable? Because even if you are doing exempt supply, or even if you are doing supply under composition levy, then don't you think there is a necessity to calculate aggregate turnover? So for sake of aggregate turnover calculation, it's necessary to record all your supplies. Yes, I won't say with authorities, but for yourself you should maintain the details of supplies, outward supplies, which can happen via a document called as bill of supply. Is it clear to all of you? Wonderful, wonderful. Now see friends, some other documents and its importance. Okay, our today's session is going to get completed before time because we are doing it to the point, like a revision only. Okay, yes, I was telling you, if I am going to conduct a batch with some other business partner, like there is one business partner, means there is one academy called as Bhagwati Education Institution. If with them I am going to conduct a batch in the month of December and they pay me advance, so which document will I give them? So that document is called as receipt voucher. What is that document called as? Receipt voucher. Very good. Then friends, if unfortunately that batch gets cancelled due to some mutual reason, some valid reason, that batch gets cancelled and I cannot give my service. Okay, so obviously there will be document issued by me called as refund voucher, where I will refund them the advance. Okay, all these documents you have to connect with time of supply. Okay, and thirdly, if I am ordering such goods or availing such services where I am liable to pay GST on a reverse charge mechanism, so when I am making payment to them, which document? When I am making payment to them, payment voucher. Yes, very good, Swati. Also self invoice. I'll make an invoice on myself for receipt of such goods or services on which tax is payable on reverse charge basis. So that is called as, yes, invoice, which is made on myself. So we just named it as self invoice. Wonderful. So could you recollect all these documents? Quickly let me know in the chat window. Those of who have understood and could revise it, quickly let me know in the chat window. Yes. My next question and next concept is going to be very important, and I'm going to tell you directly with the help of example. You have to identify which concept I'm talking about. Today is 29th October. Today my turnover exceeded 20 lakh rupees and I am provider of service. Hypothetical example. So what happens? I become liable for registration. From today I become liable for registration. Within how many days I should make application for registration? Very good. I should make application for registration. Murad sir, do you know that I should make application for registration within 30 days of becoming liable? Suppose I do that application on 5th of November and I get registration certificate on 15th of November. Then friends, which is that date when I will be called as, I will be deemed to be a registered person? I will be deemed to be registered person, mind you, Ketki, with effect from 29th October. So whatever supplies I do from 29th October, those outward supply will be liable to GST. Do you agree? Yes. But when did registration certificate come up in my hands? Registration certificate I received on 15th November. So whatever supplies I have done between 29th October till 15th November, for that I get an option of issuing revised tax invoices. Do you agree? these revised tax invoices should be issued within dash time from the date of registration certificate. Very good. Within 1 month. Within 1 month. So Swati, let's be careful where it is period is given in months. Let's talk in terms of months. Instead of saying 30 days, we can say 1 month. Agreed? This is concept of revised invoice. Is it compulsory to issue revised invoices or is it optional? It is obviously optional to issue revised invoices. Is it clear? Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, got it. Why is it optional? Because if the opposite party does not need tax invoice from you, then it's absolutely okay. Agreed? Then it's absolutely okay. You may not take efforts to revise your original invoice. What document is issued before obtaining registration? Kacha bill. There is no document because GST Act cannot talk about that. CGST Act can talk only about what documents registered person should issue. How will CGST Act have regulation on unregistered persons? I hope Rishika have solved your doubt. And I hope the concept of revised invoice is clear to all of you. Yes, no? Acha, but we have to charge GST on the recipients. Very good, Swati. We have charged GST to the recipients, but without giving our GST number. Okay. You have made invoices, correct? Rather, you have made some documents, but not tax invoices. So what happens is opposite party is unable to claim ITC. So now if it is demand of opposite party that they want to claim ITC, then you will issue revised invoices. Got it, Swati? Yes. Yes, Rishika, it can be done. Because always, Rishika, there are two columns in the return. If I am talking about outward supply, that is GSTR1. We are going to discuss about it and revise it in the next session. When I am talking about GSTR1, there are two columns. Na? One is B2B supply and one is B2C supply. So always I can make the declaration in the B2C supply. Okay. Who will stop you from paying the tax if you want to pay? Yes. Very good. So shall we go ahead? Any other doubt? And overall, how are your studies going on? Tell me. Before I go to next concept of debit note, credit note, section 34, overall, how are your studies going? Especially my area would be of tax only. So tell me overall how it is going on for tax. Where are you facing issues? Or what are you finding easy? What are you finding tough? I'm always asking these questions to you on the WhatsApp group because I'm keen to know that where I should give more efforts. Okay, so that's why I'm asking you these questions. What happened when there was face-to-face batch, then I could easily understand these things because students obviously would communicate with me on daily basis. Now that doesn't happen, so I am asking you. Okay, you need revision in customs. Rishika, don't worry about customs because point is 5 marks I told you. I think I only told you on call that 5 marks would be for valuation in customs and 5 marks would be for other topics. So you only decide how much weightage of time to give in customs. Accordingly, you revise customs. Time management becomes difficult. Okay. Swati, time management with respect to studying or time management with respect to completing the paper? Let me know that. Uma is saying theory is difficult for her. Okay. Tell me one thing. Theory is difficult means what from theory, and after doing last 3 sessions, are you finding it easy? Theory part. And with this consolidated tables and charts, it will become better. Okay, Swati is saying studying on daily basis becomes easy. Sir, I am pretty weak in the invoice chapter under GST. Specifically, I know the topic but not in detail. How to focus on the same? This is easy topic actually. Swati, this is easy topic actually. Okay, now whatever topics, whatever things I discussed, you can do backward thing. Means you have now seen glimpses of what you have to go in depth of. Now exactly you can go in depth of these points which we discussed. Okay, if this topic is specifically the issue, never ending portion is the issue for Rishika. See, Rishika, you have to study smartly, right? You have taxman cracker, you have weightages of every topic in front of you. So do the ABC analysis. Focus on those chapters which are going to be critical. Okay. Rishika, I have made one video on weightages in CS professional tax. So if required, if you have not seen it on YouTube, you just put hi to me on WhatsApp. I will share with you the link of that. So accordingly you can plan your studies. So at least never ending portions I can agree, but you will give coverage to those issues which matter the most. Okay. You take time to solve single sum and then time management becomes difficult. So are you talking about while practicing, Anisha? This happens while practicing, you are saying? Yes. Okay. Don't sit and solve, no? Just have the checkpoints. No need to solve each and every sum. Just have the checkpoints that could I recollect this, could I recollect this. Okay. No need to literally solve it. Okay. Then section 11 is difficult to study. Exemptions. Okay. We will come with table and chart for that exemptions also, so that you get exemption. Sir, I need more hours in a day. Wow. How can I help? You need more hours in a day. I think this problem can be solved with effective energy management. Time is nothing but energy. Bring more effectiveness in the same time. Bring more effectiveness in the same time. Okay, I will tell you one day how to do that. Just remind me. It's good going, sir. I find that I have to invest more time for direct tax. Whatever time you invest for direct tax, it's going to be less only. Ensure that you have done GST systematically, done customs, and then go to DT. Okay. DT most obvious topics, then less obvious topics. That should be the sequence. Okay. International tax is difficult, Sushma is saying. Okay. Which part of international tax? That you let me know. Okay. Fine. Time management becomes difficult, Swati is saying. Okay. We'll take one session on time management. Noted. Point is noted that you need my inputs on time management. I was just finding out that I need to consider which issues for some extra sessions. So yes, time management is one of it. Yes, doubt session we can have. Doubt sessions means doubt solving sessions. I find it difficult to approach theory topics. Every question is different and I find it difficult to structure the answer last moment, especially in customs and DT. Customs, it's only 5 marks issue. 5 marks is valuation. DT, you have to apply your knowledge. Okay, you have to structure it. No one can teach you that. We can teach you provision, but there is a lot of uncertainty in what they would ask. At the most, each and every question from Cracker you can go through to get idea. Yes, Anisha, I have put up here weightages as one of the issue. Yes, I will discuss with you the weightages for theory in the paper. Okay, good. Anything else that I need to address? You can let me know on WhatsApp also. Okay, be clear in your communication on WhatsApp also. We can make videos, we can invite you for such live sessions, we can discuss the things. Main point is you should be at comfortable position. Fine. Next point which I am going to discuss with you right now technically is section 34, which is debit note and credit note. Okay, so credit note will be issued in 3 cases. So to give you simple glimpse of it, whenever you have overvalued, okay, and you have to reduce the value. When you have to reduce the value, you may issue credit note. What is the word I am using? May issue credit note. Okay, why may? Optional, because value is going to reduce. Okay, value is going to reduce means GST is going to reduce. In short, credit note will be issued in these 3 circumstances. What 3 circumstances? Taxable value or tax charged is found to be in excess, or goods are returned, as Anisha is saying, or goods or services are found to be deficient. Agreed? In these 3 circumstances will be issued, may be issued credit note. Now friends, whatever is the impact of issuing credit note by supplier, that supplier should declare it in the return. Now if he forgets to declare, or if he does not declare in the immediate return, then there is a time limit. I had told you that this time limit is same as section 16 subsection 4 time limit. So that is due date of filing return for the month of September following the end of financial year to which the credit note pertains, or due actual date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. Now of these two, whichever is earlier, after that date you cannot give the details in the credit note of the credit note in the return. Okay, means what? To make this issue simple, date of my credit note is 29th October 2022. So it falls in which financial year? Friends, it falls in financial year 22-23. Yes, Ashlesa has put some doubt. So Ashlesa, after I complete debit note, credit note, you copy paste this doubt. Okay. Understood my issue till this point? It's of 22-23. 22-23 ends on 31st March 23. Which September follows it is September 2023. Due date of filing return for September 2023 is 20 October 23. Isn't it? So friends, at the most till 20 October 23 you can put details of that credit note, but if you have filed annual return for 22-23 before this date only, then that becomes the last date. Means on 10th August 23 only you have filed annual return, then the last date becomes 10th August 23. So that's what I said, that due date of filing return for the month of September immediately succeeding the financial year to which credit note belongs, or actual date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. Wonderful. And friends, such time limit is not there in case of debit note. Do you know why? Because debit note is supposed to be issued to increase the value. In short, debit note is issued when, in which circumstances? When the value declared or the tax declared in the invoice is less, okay, or when the goods or services given are found to be in excess. In that case, debit note is issued. I have told you one simple examples of credit note and debit note. Credit note example is discount to be given. Debit note's example is interest to be charged. So for debit note there is no time limit because value is getting increased. So even if you forgot to issue debit note immediately, you may issue it at later point without time limit, but obviously you will have to pay the interest. Suppose today I have issued debit note 29th October 2022. Ideally I should have declared it in the return for the month of October. So for October I should have increased the liability. Do you agree, all of you? I can see only Ketki nodding. No one else has switched on the camera. Don't you like this, friends? There were 2 more students who had switched on. देखो कैमरा स्विच ऑन करने का बहुत ही अलग इम्पोर्टेंस है. डेली आई एम टेलिंग यू, switch on the camera. That instruction remains very constant. Those who are good speakers, good lecturers, those sessions which are to be taken very seriously, sincerely, they all will insist on switching on the camera mandatorily. Okay, it increases your focus level by 100%. Otherwise what's happening, you know, you're watching WhatsApp and simultaneously listening to the lecture. 1. Second, watching TV simultaneously looking at the lecture. Third, lying down, sleeping on the couch, watching the lecture. Yes, so we don't want such approach. Okay, because any point can become important point in the exam. Okay, if you are in the class in front of me, at the most you can yawn. At the most you can do like this, but not lie down and watch, right? So it's important that way. This fellow Mihir is laughing at me, but these might look silly instructions, but they are very important. Okay, and it's not that you have to sit with makeup and all. Okay, I don't want to judge you. You are sitting at home, but point is just switch on. No problem. You have fever, so no problem. Take care. Okay. See now, you only observe your focus level when you switch on versus when you have not switched on. Okay, listen now carefully. So debit note can be issued anytime. Sometime in 17-18 you had issued debit note, but you had never declared it in the return. Can you declare it now? Yes, you can declare it now, and you have to pay that tax which was payable that time along with interest. Anisha is asking one question, okay, of which she got the answer. Very good. And one last thing I want to tell you. Okay, there are 4 invoices. To Mihir I did 4 times supply in the year. Okay, and now against this 4 supplies I have to increase the value. Can I issue single debit note? Answer is absolutely yes. So against multiple invoices, it is possible to issue one debit note / credit note, and even vice versa. Vice versa means what? There is one supply which I have done to me here. Now what happened is, today I felt, and it's agreed by him also, to increase the value by 10 rupees per unit. But afterwards it was decided to increase the value by 12 rupees per unit. So now I can issue another debit note. Earlier issued for 10 rupees. Afterwards I'll issue for next 2 rupees per unit. So can multiple invoices, can multiple debit notes / credit notes be issued against one invoice? Answer is absolutely yes. So remember all these things, they will be somewhere helpful in the exam. Clear till this point? Very good. So this way we complete debit note and credit note as well. Last point of discussion for today in this session, number 4, is e-way bills. Do you know e-way bills is covered in which section number? It is, anyone knows? It's covered in section 68. Very good, Sushma. Section is 68 and rule is 138 of CGST rules. And whenever I am referring to any section, it is of course of CGST Act. Okay, clear? Yes, wonderful. So understand, electronic way bill will be punched on common portal before the movement of goods. It's to be punched or it's to be made for movement of goods. I'm not talking about supply, I'm talking about movement of goods. It can be in case of job work also. Okay, it need not be sale, it has to be movement of goods. Okay, so friends, there are 2 parts to e-way bill, part A and part B. Part A will be the details of that particular consignment, like its value, the content, the description. Okay, and part B will be the details of the transporter. Agreed? Yes, very good. Now friends, when will you make this e-way bill? It is to be made whenever there is a movement of goods and the consignment value exceeds rupees dash. Consignment value exceeds rupees 50,000. Mind you friends, it could be intrastate supply or it could be interstate supply. It doesn't matter. And consignment's value meaning is what? The meaning of consignment value is assessable value plus, yes, very good, assessable value as per section 15 plus GST, and it will not include exempt supply. Is it clear to all of you? Wonderful, wonderful. Very good, Rucha. Now, what else I want to tell you is, pay attention. If there is a transporter who is getting multiple e-way bills and who is having multiple consignments on his conveyance, then against this multiple e-way bills, he can issue single e-way bill called as consolidated e-way bill. Very good, Swati. And last point which I want to tell you, most important, the validity of e-way bill. So friends, if you are doing a transport which is not a transport via over-dimensional cargo, okay, you may not remember definition of over-dimensional cargo, they will provide that to you in the exam. bit out of scope of GST, but in the main batch I have told you what is over-dimensional cargo. I have shown you the diagrams of over-dimensional cargos. So if it is not by over-dimensional cargo, means it's a regular transport vehicle, and it is also not a multimodal transport. Multimodal means different modes. It is not even multimodal transport where one of the mode of transport is ship. So it is not such a thing. Then how many kilometers you have to cover in a day? What have you learnt? Then you have to cover 200 kilometers in a day. For you get additional day for every 200 kilometers or part thereof. So friends, suppose I have to cover 459 kilometers. How many days I get? I get 3 days. How I get 3 days? 459 divided by 200. Answer is 2 point something. So I get 3 days. Even if it is 401 kilometers, I get 3 days. Agreed? First day for first 200 kilometers, next day for next 200 kilometers, and next additional day for part of next 200 kilometers. Wonderful, wonderful. And friends, if it is a transport by over-dimensional cargo, or if it's a multimodal transport where one of the leg transportation is by ship, then it will take time. So how much kilometers you are expected to cover each day is 20 kilometers. Wonderful, wonderful. Good. And one last thing, there's a bill to ship model, which of course again we will be revising when we will be doing ITC. Also it will be important while doing place of supply. Yes, very good, Anisha. Anisha, actually you are learning these things second time from me, right? Once at exec level and once right now. So after few days you will only start teaching. Okay, good. So no, I could sense that, because so immediately you said in place of supply also. So now you have well understood my style of teaching. Good, very good. Okay. And I think you easily straightforward in first exam itself cleared your executive, right? Okay. No? Acha. But smoothly you cleared, I think, with 55 plus marks, as far as I remember. Huh. Okay. Now, point is, yes, you will learn that bill to ship model. A sells to B, B sells to C. But friends, B gives instruction to A to send the goods directly to C. Okay, Anisha, okay. A gives instruction to, B gives instruction to A to send goods to C. Now question is, how many invoices are involved in this case? Invoices involved are equal to number of transactions. There are 2 transactions. A sells to B, B sells to C. This is called as bill to ship model, because A is doing billing to B, but A is doing shipping to C. Agreed? A is doing billing to B, B is doing billing to C, but A is directly doing shipping to C. Even if there are 2 invoices, how many e-way bills will be made? E-way bills made will be only 1. Yes, very good. So the one who is causing the movement of goods will make this e-way bill, or the supplier will make e-way bill. There is no problem, but only 1 e-way bill is sufficient. That's the clarification given. Agreed? So did you understand all the sections which we revised today in this session? 31, 34, 68. Very good, very good. So till now, what all section numbers we have covered? We have covered 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. This is assessment and audit. Then we have covered 95 onwards in advanced ruling. Then we have covered, yes, today as we discussed, yes, 73, 74. And today as we discussed 31, 34 and 68. So get very used to this theory. Okay, when you see, because see, more and more you read and in depth you understand, it's going to help you in solving the question in the exam. Okay, in exam you might feel a particular case is new, how do I solve it, but its answer will be somewhere here. Getting it? You will feel in exam, in spite of doing so many things, you might feel for some questions tentative while writing the answers. Let it be, write it. Okay, write the answer, and you will be getting, you will be getting it. It has happened with so many students, because every case is a new case, no? So yes, be confident on yourself. That's why we say that one first reading you do very much in depth, and keep on doing reading 2 more times. So 3 times you read it well, you go for the exam. Yes. Okay. In our example, one question is there. In our example, is it mandatory to raise the e-way bill? I did not get the question, Anisha, because of the spelling mistakes or some typos. So just reframe it. So anyone else, any doubt? We are obviously meeting no Ketki. See, you will have to take a stand on many things which you feel you don't know, but apply your knowledge and you will have to write it. Okay, not very vague, but obviously which is somewhere in line. Because see, what I am telling you is, if a concept like bill of supply, if a concept like say general audit, if you are used to these concepts, in the exam they will not tell you directly this is bill to ship, वो घुमा फिरा के बोलेंगे. Then you have to make out what it is and take your stand firmly. This is the case and this is the solution for the case. Okay, so एक आप clean mind लेके exam को जाना. You take a very clean mind to exam, that yes, I have my knowledge, now I will apply. And I already told you 60, 20, 20 funda. There will be something in exam of 60 which you will be knowing, yes, these answers I know direct. Solve that first. Then go to that 20 which seems to be confusing. Then go to that 20 which seems impossible. That funda to I have told you. No, you have problem in application. Okay, what I will tell you, Uma, this is bit out of the way solution I am telling you, Uma. You write one statement, Uma. In your notebook, you write one statement. I am very good at applying provisions. Write this statement in a notebook. I am very good. Write statement in your notebook. Those who feel that they have problem in application, write one statement. What statement I told you? I am very good at applying provisions. Did you write the statement in notebook? Those who think they have this problem? Right? Literally, I am very good at applying provisions. I am very good at applying provisions. Write that statement. And now, literally, while going to sleep, while you're going to sleep on daily basis from today, you read this sentence, you learn this sentence, read this sentence for 51 times. It may seem illogical to you, but this is the biggest hack. If you keep on telling yourself, you will see basically what you are today is your conditioned self. Correct? One wonderful video I was watching, and I'm very much convinced by that thought, that there are two things. Some things are happening subconsciously, some things are happening consciously. Like your breathing. You're breathing consciously or subconsciously. Most of the times you're breathing subconsciously. Do you decide and breathe? No. So in 1 minute I'll tell you the concept. You don't decide and breathe. It's happening. Right? This is subconscious. But if you have to move your hand from here to here, then obviously what happens is, in this moment of the second, consciously I gave action to my brain processed it, and this happened. Right? So basically, who are you? You are your conditioned self. If you keep on telling yourself constantly that this is difficult, this is difficult, this is difficult, this is difficult, you are literally making jap of that, repetitions of that. This is difficult, this unknowingly you are doing this. So your mind accepts that. Now what I am telling you is, I am telling you that now your mind should start accepting, I know. How many times it has happened that maths is difficult, and in that maths, not all 100 things are difficult. Actually, only 20 things are difficult. But because of those 20 things, you condition your mind that it is difficult. And those 80 which are easy also start appearing to be difficult. And your hand starts shaking for those 80 also, which is actually not difficult. Now the whole task is, now what example I gave you for maths, same is for tax. You have conditioned your mind, this is common for all. You have conditioned your mind, tax is difficult, I cannot apply. Now I'm asking you to condition your mind, I can apply. I am applying positive and present tense. So what was the statement I gave you in notebook? Someone type the statement. Is it in present tense? It is not in future tense. It is in present tense. The statement goes like this. What it is? I am good at applying provisions, right? Do that. What we do always, I don't have money. Then that becomes reality. You start saying, I am abandoned. Check. I forgot the name of that. I won't say psychiatrist. I forgot the name of that person who has done this study. But what he has done, what his study says is that your mind easily attracts what you don't have, and it easily neglects what you have. Getting the point? So just focus that you have cleared executive and come to this level, means you have that applicability and application capacity and interpretation capacity. That's why you are here till this level. Okay, one thing I had told my mind when I was doing CA, if I can clear intermediate, then I am a chartered accountant, because final is just formality. Tell your mind also, if you can clear executive, then of course you deserve to be a company secretary. Tell your mind. Okay. If anyone has doubt that you will become CS, write in your book, I have cleared executive, I am talented, and I am going to be CS. Write that, read it. It will have miraculous effects on you. Because biggest of the things are created, rather each and everything is created out of intangible. And intangible is your thinking. Okay, whichever big companies you think of today, they have been created from scratch. And it was once an idea. Rishi Sunak becoming PM of UK, he thought of it someday. He had that vision. Someday he thought of it, then he became, right? So first thoughts, then manifestation. Thoughts, manifestation. Thoughts, manifestation. You will work on your thoughts. Manifestation is a byproduct. Okay? Chalo. So lot of philosophical lecture I have given you. But this is important, very important. Okay? Chalo. So it is now 7:56. I'll see you at 8:15, 8:15 for session number 5. Thank you.